Hi everyone. Welcome back to the Pot Smoker's Bible. My name is Zaya. I'm the author of the Pot Smoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament of the Christian Bible. I use the King James Version in order to put together the prophecy of Israel from the testimony of the prophets. The resulting book of Zion left me with a set of instructions to follow in order to fulfill prophecy and to actualize judgment and to bring God back to earth. Now, by God, I mean the UFOs, those who from the heavens came. That's the true meaning of the word God. Now, the religions would have you believe that it's this all-powerful being that sits on a throne in the clouds, or at least that's how I was taught it when I was a kid. It's like but each religion on the planet has its own unique version of this God character, and some have a pantheon of gods. Well, that's not how I operate, because that's something that is going bye-bye. Because I'm reinstituting the ancient system that has been corrupted into what we call religion. Now, in the ancient days, before the flood, the government of the gray oversaw life on earth. And they did this in what I call the temple complex. Now, it equates to, the most likely candidate of comparison is the Greek Temple Mount, or the Greek temple structure in Greece, where the Parthenon and that whole mountain where all the temples were. Now, at that time, the gods of the temple were actually the seat holders of the chair of the guild that covered that aspect of human life. So, Ares was the guild chair leader of the Great Council in all matters of war. Zeus was the highest ranking member, the eldest of the council, and he had final say in all disputes. Hera took care of household things, family issues. Each person had a chair, and each chair had a temple. And every human on the planet had the right, or in that area, wherever the temples were, had the right to petition the guild, represented by the temple, housed by the chair, who became the god. Okay? This is how we're going to structure our nation, the prophetic nation of Zion. There will be a temple complex. Now, we're going to begin our temple complex as a little different, but I'm talking about when we set up our government and the correlation between the historical Greek temple structure and the government that it represented, because there was no religion. It just didn't exist. That is something that man made up after the Great Left, because they left us with this temple complex structure of government. But the humans, all they could see was the advanced aliens that were God. And they didn't understand that it was a government function, not a religious function. And so even though the book that I got my information from, oh well, one of them, is a religious book. And then there were other religious books that I read in addition to this one, because I've read Buddhist texts, I've read Shinto texts, I've read folklore, I've read mythology, I've read all of the religions, I've read several Sanskrit texts, the Upanishad. I don't know how to pronounce them because I'm not from India, so forgive me for the belligerent use of language because I haven't heard it enough to get the linguistic text down. So I've read the Hindu texts. I've read Taoism. I used to own the I Ching. It's like it's like I come from England, so it's like the Druid writings. I've read the folklore. I've read the Norse mythology because my mother's from Germany. So it's like all of this information comes from a vast study. And it all comes down to basically the same thing. The gods, those who from the heavens came, the aliens, ruled the planet Earth. Ruled is the optional word here, is the optimal word here. Rule, in its indication is political in nature. They ruled the planet. They governed the planet. It wasn't a magical God thing at all. The Grey don't want you to worship them. That's ridiculous. They don't need your worship. They're a highly intelligent, advanced civilization that has technology that is like magical to us. But it's technology. It's science. It's not religion. So I'm not proposing a religion. I'm not asking you to believe a damn thing. Because I have this saying, reality is manifest. And what manifest is what's in the physical world. If it's not manifest in reality, then it's only a potential, which gets us into quantum physics, which we will get into later in my book, because it's there. I didn't think it was going to be there, but it's there. But see, Zion is not a religion. It's a political, pseudo-religious, prophetic event. It's this form of government where every guild has a seat, and every seat has a temple, and every temple is represented by an elected official. And that's all that these gods were. They were elected officials who ran the guild seat of the government of the Grey. Now, how that devolved into Jesus Christ saved my soul because he died on a cross, I have no clue. Okay? How the government could go to a religion, well, it's just a matter of magic. And magic is just science that we don't understand. So, I'm not trying to get you to believe anything. Except for what is manifest in reality. This book is manifest in reality. It comes to us from ancient times. And it has a message to us that was written particularly for this day, 2020. The year of the controversy of Zion, the year of the prophetic events, the year of judgment of the American democratic hypocrisy, and the beginnings of the creation of the prophetic nation of Zion. And it's not religious at all. We're priests. We're called priests because that's what the Grey call us. That's what this book calls us, okay? Now, what the priests of the religions became after the Grey left is on them, not on us. We're Zionites. We know better than to believe that there is an all-powerful being that looks down on us and makes every decision, and that he'll damn you to hell if you fucking make a mistake. Bull fucking shit. Life is about making mistakes. We don't make them. And that's not the God that I embody, that I embrace. Priest, to me, equates to interpreter. The aliens speak a foreign language. It's called telepathy. And priests are the telepathic humans that can interpret the mental language of the Grey. That's all we are. So a priest of the Grey is just a civil servant, serving humanity by interpreting the language of the Grey, being the voice for the Grey to humanity. That's all we are. We don't glorify anybody. There's nobody to glorify in Zion. We all are on the road to ascension in Zion. Why would you worship something that you could become? Why would you give your energy to another being when you can use that energy to create a better world for yourself? That's what I preach. That's peace, unity, brotherhood, mutual cooperation, the end of the use of the monetary system, which is just ridiculous in its egotistical, power-hungry, 7 deadly sins crap. What we're trying to do, what I'm trying to do, and what the Grey are trying to do through me is to reintroduce the true government system of the Grey. That government system which used to operate on the earth in the temple complex as the means to govern. It's a government, not a religion. It's political. The prophecy is about politics. It's not about religion. There's not a single place in here, in the prophecy of Israel, that says that we need to bow down and worship anybody. Instead, it says that in a certain year known as the year of the controversy of Zion, that a base immoral asshole would be in power. There would be a plague, and there would be a civil uprising because of police brutality. That is what the prophecy says. That is what this book talks about. And it talks about the formation of a new nation from the ravaged desecration of the presidency of this basest of men, Donald Trump. And we're about ready to see that. May the Grey watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May they teach you right from wrong, and may you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light, the unicorn way. Stay happy and high, people. Find your joy and pursue it. Know that you have every right and reason to be exactly who and what you are. Know that I love each and every one of you. See you soon in Zion. I'll say later now, because I'll never say goodbye.